Everybody okay in the back? All right. Coach, whenever you're ready.
We're happy for our seniors and our players. They've overcome a lot. Tough situation to keep fighting and doing the things they had to do. Very proud of them, very proud for our fans. And we got to have a great game here, and very proud for these seniors to go out their last game ever in Kyle Field in a big win and a big situation. So guys did a really nice job in all three phases. I thought special teams, we did a good job. We kicked the ball well, returned it well, caught it, did the things we had to do. Defensively, I thought we did a nice job. They got some yards and got some things going early, but we bent and kept them to a couple field goals. Got that big critical turnover in the second half. It got touchdowns. Offensively, we controlled the line of scrimmage and were really efficient on the night. Stayed out of negative plays. Stayed ahead of the chains. The chain was awesome. I mean, just absolutely awesome. Mari ran the ball well when he got in there. 22, we'd put him in there too, but chain was so hot. Thought our receivers, Moose made two big catches. Made one of them with one arm because they were holding the other, and did that. But, he made some nice plays in the game, really big plays, too, that got us down for that third score and got us up. Connor, I thought, made the throws, managed the game, understood where we went checks, made really smart plays on the night, and had couple big scrambles that really helped us. And guard our offensive line, I thought, and our tight ends did a really nice job in the game, our fullbacks blocking, and we executed. And that's what happens when you execute. You move the ball up and down the field. In defense, we got critical stops and played a really good football game. That's a really good team.
Start with the left, third row, Mark, then to the right, Brent.
Jimbo, I'm going to ask a question the whole country's asking. Where's that been all year?
Well, that's what I was saying. It's young guys and growing and developing, and it's there. It's what I said. It's going to be there, and there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. It's how we got to do it and how we got to get the maturity out of them and what happens and execute what we got. And our kids just relaxed and played, and they grew up, and they matured, and there's a lot of, like I say, injuries and young guys all year. It's not an excuse, but that's the facts of life. And you see it. They could do it in streaks, couldn't do it at whole times. And then this game, we finally put it together for 60 minutes and played a really good game. It's that simple, period.
Third row on the right, Brent, and then to the left.
What does that say about A-Chain? The fact that he returned from the injury when maybe he could have just said he was not going to finish it out.
I told you he wasn't.
Right.
You didn't believe me. You guys sitting here wouldn't believe us. That these guys, you guys trying to make the players say they were going to quit and do everything else. They wouldn't do it, and I said they weren't. You questioned everything they did on that. All you all did. And that team was very tight together, and it shows the character and who he is and what he is.
What does that say? What does that say about him to come out?
What
there
I just said,
that?
it says a lot. He's a tremendous human being and a tremendous player and a tremendous leader and a tremendous competitor. He has nothing but heart and toughness about him and everything he does.
To the left, Olin.
Jimbo, did y'all approach this as, hey, this is settled, like this is our bowl game, and did it feel like a bowl game?
No.
Okay, and secondly, y'all came out of the start of the second half and
Misexecuted two plays.
I wanted to ask what was different. That was kind of like the situation with Florida. What was different this time?
We just misexecuted plays. It was there, and we just got to get our head around and threw a ball behind, and didn't stay on a read on third down. That was that simple. The plays were there.
Down front, Travis, and then to the left, Alex.
2 SEC wins this year, and Damani Richardson had made a key play in both of them. What is it about him that he finds himself in those positions?
Damani's played a lot of ball. He's a very veteran player. He's been around a long time. He knows how to win. He's a great leader, and he's going to play no matter what, and he's going to hopefully have a nice career at the next level.
And how important was it for each one of the guys to have Connor, Devon, and Evan all out there at the same time? I think it's only the second time this year that all three have been on the field at the same time.
Not very often. Like I say, the injuries and the things, and then get Moose in there and playing, and Noah Thomas and the tight ends and our line. It was good. I mean, like I say, we still haven't had our full team, but that's ball. Sometimes you have those years. You got to learn to overcome it. That's why you got to build depth and keep executing.
Second row on the left, Alex.
I got a couple on Devon. Just when push came to shove, you guys went with the run game. What were you seeing from LSU's defense that you wanted to keep running the ball?
Listen, they have great loose down players. They're great pass rush guys. They're great guys that can rush and things, and you don't want to get in situations to let them do that. And we thought schemes in which we had, and we could get hats on hats, and our guys did a great job of blocking them.
And just as Devon maybe looms his future, what has he just meant to this offense the last few years?
Well, he's a very versatile guy. That's his greatness. It's his speed, but it's his natural instincts to play the game, and his versatility to block, to run, to catch it down the field, to return. I mean, he can do everything on a football field, and he's a tremendous and very humble human being, amazingly humble.
Front right, Cole.
Jimbo, for Connor to have the night that he had against this defense, how does that help him better himself going into the offseason?
Well, you learn how to win. You learn how to win. You learn how to manage a game. Sometimes manage a game throwing for 400 yards. Sometimes it's throwing for 150 and being highly efficient and throwing touchdowns and being great on third down and doing the things you got to do. And numbers don't dictate wins. situations dictate wins, and knowing how to play and how to win and how to grow as a quarterback. And he's doing it. He's a very intelligent young man.
And then when you look at Moose Muhammad's growth and maturity, where has he really stood out, especially over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think he has tremendous. Moose has tremendous ball skills. He's a strong-bodied, very sure-handed guy. Makes contested catches and uses his body very well. Can stick his foot in the ground. Can separate. And he has a tremendous future ahead of him. I mean, a tremendous future ahead of him.
And then are you going to have cornflakes later?
Huh?
You're going to have cornflakes later.
No.
Fourth
I
row
don't know
on the
what that was
left.
about. But
Yeah, Coach, just wondering
used
from
to him as a kid. Don't eat him no more.
yeah, Coach, just wondering from a momentum standpoint, how big is it to have a win like this heading into the offseason?
I think it's good for your confidence and what goes on, and just shows you what you're capable of. But it also shows you could be, those are things you got to grow to, and that's part of growing up to getting to winning and learning how to do that. And our kids had to fight through that and learning. They played in stretches during the year, but and you got to learn. It's not just your ability, but your mental toughness to compete in games, and that's what I think they continually grew on.
On the right aisle, Justin.
Jimbo, it's 17-17. They get the ball back, seem to have all the momentum. Then you force the fumble, but then your offense builds off of the turnover and goes and scores. You haven't been able to do that a lot this year, so what's it say about the team's growth?
Well, that's what I said. We finally played off each other. Like even when we used to punt the ball back, we'd move it to midfield, punt them in and out to 10. We weren't getting stops all year. We were getting the ball back down here and getting balls out. We played to each other. With the defense, the first half, we scored 3 straight drives. We come out, we go 3 and out, we execute 2 plays and get it, and then we miss another play. Miss a block on the second series and get it again. Then they get the turnover, and then we go right back to pounding and getting their confidence. And it was just a matter of execution, back to relaxing and executing plays. And it's that simple. I mean, there's no magical formula. It's continuing to not get bored and do your job each and every play and not look too much into something.
For you as a play caller, when you go tempo, I guess there's probably less pre-snap motion, but what's your philosophy on pre-snap motion? What does that help Wigman do?
You can motion and pre-snap it. Listen, tempo, we're so caught up in tempo. Name me a tempo team that's won a national championship. Call one. There ain't one. There ain't one in the last 15 years. So y'all aren't caught up in tempo. Tempo ain't won a national championship. All right? So teams that line up and play good football. You can run tempo, and you can have parts of it, and you can use tempo off and on, but pure tempo teams haven't won one. So we can say that all we want. Okay? You can run tempo. You can not run tempo. It depends on what your game plan is. You have to not do for your team to win that game. Sometimes it's tempo, sometimes it's not tempo.
To the left, Sam.
Hey, Jimbo, a couple things. One, how do you reconcile the promise that you see with how many young guys are out there making plays on the field tonight with the missed opportunities that you've had throughout this season?
It's ball. That's called, when you got kids,
Yes, 2.
you'll understand. How old?
7 and 2.
All right? When they're 12 and 13, see if they're doing what they're doing when they're 7 and 2. That's what it gets down to. And you got to help coach them, and you got to lead them, you got to show them, and they got to learn how to get over that hump. And that's disappointing. That's as coaches, that's our job, no matter what it is, no matter what that circumstance is. If we had some older guys stayed healthy, maybe it changes, but we didn't. And that's our fight. That's as coaches, that's the situation you're in. That's as a coach, you have to do that. And it's about learning how to win, learning how to stay mature, learning how to focus for the whole time, and learning that there's not a secret to this. There's nothing fabulous about this. Just go do your job. Run your route, make your block, fit your run, do your things you got to do, and play. There's no magical formula. But there's no substitute for maturity and age and development. And you got to grow through that. And it just shows them. And listen, they haven't, and when we showed them on film all year, those things, yes, sir, and they bought right in it. And we haven't, listen, they don't do it on purpose. I know that. We go back and coach the heck out of them on that week. The whole year, they have practiced hard, done hard. We ain't played well in that coaching. We got to do a better job coaching them in that. But at the same time, now they can start to see where that comes from, and that's part of growth. And hopefully we can build on that in the future. We'll see. We'll find out.
And what does your next few days look like in terms of kind of what's on your plate in terms
We'll
of
get our
evaluation?
team together and give them a criteria for what we're doing in December, the lifting, the classes, all that type of stuff, and we'll get the recruiting trail going.
Go back behind the lights to Darryl on the left, and then Ben on the right.
Coach, I have 2 questions for you. First, in the first half, I think 3 possessions, 17 points. That's where you wanted it all year long. I mean, taking advantage of the ball.
I take more possessions.
But pretty much making the most of the possessions that you had in the first half.
That's what you want all the time, yes.
My second question to you is on Devon, the fact that I think he needed 113 to get to 1,000, and he surpassed that and then some.
I didn't even know that.
Just on him becoming a 1,000-yard rusher.
That's a criteria and a mark, but, he could be a 2,000-yard rusher. He's capable of doing that too. He's a capable guy, catches, and he's one of my favorite guys to coach because he gets ball. He's a natural player, but he's so smart, so instinctive, and you can tell him something one time, and he just naturally does it.
Back behind the lights to the right, Ben.
Coach, just a couple questions about the O-line. Any particular aspect of their run blocking you thought pleased you the most? Just push, angles, anything particular stood out to
Zone.
you?
We ran zone gap schemes. They were blocking down the gaps, and they were hitting the zones, and we weren't getting penetration, and we were getting hats to hats and getting it declared. And our tight ends too. Our tight ends and fullbacks did a really nice job in that too. But
And then-
they all did a really nice job.
Given how well y'all were able to run the ball, how much do you think that affected their ability, or your ability, I should say, to limit their pass rush and not have some?
Well,
of those
that's
guys
huge.
getting-
That's the whole thing. You can't get in long downs. They're a great loose down team in that regard. And not that they didn't play the run well, but you got in loose downs, man. They were hard to handle. They had a lot of guys that could rush and play, and you had to make them take on. Not that they couldn't. I'm not saying that at all, but you were better off trying to do that, and we were able to run it, and then we keep and working the clock in the right down and distance situations.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll get
Thank
the
you.
players.
We have Devon A-Chain with us at the podium. We'll start third row on the left side with Mark.
All right, Devon, I got two questions. First, how do you feel after 38 carries and 220 yards?
I feel very actioned. When I was talking to Coach Fisher, he kept on asking me, like, am I okay? I was good, Like I said, it's last game, so might as well put everything on the line.
How important was it to you to come back and play in this last game?
It's very important. Just wasn't important to me, just important, just for the seniors, not just for myself, just basically like my team, my teammates and stuff. Me coming back, just basically wanting to give my seniors, a great last game, at Kyle Field. So that was just my whole, little motivation to try to come back.
We'll stay on the left side and go to Alex Miller, second row.
Got a couple for you, Devon. At what point in the week did you know that you were good to go this week?
I'll say my first practice this week was Wednesday, so I did a little running, a little cutting, just basically see where I was at. It was obviously gonna still hurt, but it's just pain that I can play through.
And was it your foot that was bothering you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what did that last touchdown mean to you? I mean, you don't really show a lot of emotion, but it looked like you kind of turned and gave him a little it's over kind of deal.
Just the excitement, man. Just playing in front of the 12 man, just being in that atmosphere, just out there, just having fun. That's basically just what that was.
Well, and then, as you kind of mull about your future, what's going to go into that decision of, what's next for you, whether it's to stay or potentially go?
It's going to be a very hard decision. Like I said, I love 12 man, so that's just something that I just have to go discuss, with Coach Fisher and my parents.
We'll go back behind the lights on the right side to Ben.
Devon, kind of going off of that, if this was your last game at Kyle Field, what do you think, with hindsight, it will mean to you to have gone off with this kind of performance?
I think, I had a great performance. I also want to congratulate, my O-line, everybody who was on, all 11 guys who was on the field. Just like I said, just not me out there. It's a whole team. Also congratulate defense because it's always a good thing when the defense can also put up points. So we all played a big part in this win today.
We'll stay back behind the lights on the right side.
Devon, at what point in the night did you realize LSU wasn't going to have much success stopping you on the ground?
Like I said, we went to halftime. We came back out. Our first little drive after the halftime. We had 3 and out. But we didn't lose focus. We knew that we can run the ball, so we just kept going with the run. And basically the passes, they came open eventually. Like I said, Evan and Moose made great catches. They just us as a team, just connecting.
We'll stay behind the lights and go to the left side to Daryl.
Devon, I have two questions for you. First, just on becoming a 1,000-yard rusher, I think you needed 100 and something to get to that, and you surpassed that and then some.
Yeah, I needed 113 yards, and so when I hit 113, my coach, my running back coach, Coach T-Rob, he just kept pushing me, just telling me, okay, let's see if you could get more, or like this, just basically just giving me more goals. I'm just out there, just playing, having fun.
And then can you talk about the catches that Moose made, and then maybe work in the fact that, Connor played a very intelligent, smart, didn't give the ball up kind of ball game for you guys tonight?
Like I said, Moose made a great catch. If y'all would see Moose at practice, like he always making one-hand catches, so it wasn't like a surprise, but it's something like I knew he can do because he always doing it. Like at practice, coach always yelling at him, put 2 hands on the ball, but if he catching them, I ain't got no problem with him doing it. And like I said, Connor played a great game as well. We didn't have no turnovers, and that's good. He just, like you said, he's giving everybody, the playmakers, a chance, and that's what he was out there doing, making smart runs, pick up big first downs. That's what we need out of a quarterback. So he was out there. We all have played a great game.
We'll go front row on the right side to Cole and then Travis.
Devon, we don't know if this is your last game or not, but if it is, for you to be able to be swarmed by a bunch of 12th man rushing the field is the last thing that you will remember walking out. How special is that?
That's very special. Like I said, I don't even know how many pictures I took on the way to the locker room. Just basically everybody rushing me. Just a lot of love. Just a lot of, everybody just enjoying the moment. So like I said, I love 12 man. I'm happy that I can, if this was my last game, I'm happy to, leave with a great performance as I did. So basically, like I said, I'll decide sooner or later. Time is coming.
And then what's the future say about Connor leading this offense?
He said a lot. Like you said, he a freshman. He got a lot of years. So basically, based off what he did this year, you can see his growth that he can become way better. You always can learn and grow in certain aspects of your game. So basically, I just want to see next year how like the leadership and the role that he took on as a freshman. That was great of him. So basically, I just want to see next year and what he has to bring.
And then I know Jalen Preston's going to have a bowl, but are you going to have a bowl of cornflakes later?
Nah, no cornflakes.
We'll stay front row on the right side with Travis and then Alex.
How important was it to the offense to not only have you back, but also have Evan and Connor back all together? I think this is only the second time that y'all have all been together.
It was great. Like you said, me and Evan, we was talking. I knew I was going to be able to come back, but I didn't know what he was, like, in his little situation or whatever. So I was always talking to him, make sure he was locked in, just staying in his head, make sure that, he was ready to play. If he wasn't, I would have still, basically just make sure his head was still in the game, obviously. And, with Connor, like you said, he had an incident earlier in the year. So, baby, I'm just glad, we all was on the same page. Everybody was healthy and to come and finish the last game for these seniors.
Yeah, what was your injury and what percentage would you put yourself at for this game?
I had a foot injury. I was 100%. It wasn't hurting as much, but obviously, like, when somebody, like, twisted my ankle or, like, fell on it. So I felt it a little bit, so I had to take, like, a play or two off, just cool down the aching that it was doing.
And then finally, with y'all's 2 SEC wins, Damani had a big scoop and scored a touchdown in both. What is it about him that he seems to find himself in those positions to make those plays when y'all need him?
Like I said, like the defense as a group, as a unit, because if Coop ain't making fumble, Damani would be there and make that play, or if when he was at Arkansas, Rick ain't catch the the fumble, he would make the play. So like I said, that defense as a unit, like they all played together. Basically like Damani as a senior. And like I said, we was out there trying to get him like the best game that he had. This is the last game at Kyle Field. So basically just, him out there enjoying the moment, having fun, that's what you want to see.
We'll go second row on the left side to Alex and then wrap it up with Daryl.
Devon, given everything that's happened this year, just the disappointments that you've had, and knowing that this was it, what did the win tonight just really mean to you guys?
It just showed what type of team we can be in the future. Basically just showing that if we come to play, the type of team we can be, and basically just showing like and everybody, like you said, it wasn't a season that we wanted, but to come out and play against a top 5 team on your last game is awesome. We came out to win, so basically just showing what the future can be of Texas A&M.
We'll go back behind the lights on the left side to Daryl.
Devon, you answered my question with the reply to Alex, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Devon.
Thank you.
We'll have Layden Robinson up next. Who would like to get us started with Layden? We'll go second row on the left side to Alex and then Cole.
Layden, given some of the struggles you guys have had on offense and on the offensive line, just what did it mean to run for so many yards tonight and just get that push?
I mean, it felt good, especially us just coming together this week as the offensive line, just the offense in total. It just felt really good, to get the ball moving and know that the run is working, and we pride ourselves on that, moving the front. So sometimes we didn't do it, and then we got back on it, then we did it again. It was just growth in the process, and you see what this team could give furthermore in the future.
We'll go front row on the right side to Cole and then Travis.
Layden, you guys didn't allow a sack tonight, and especially with this young core of guys like Cam and Mark and Trey still learning. What does that say about their maturity?
Oh, it says a lot. They're growing every week, every day, every practice that we have. They're growing. They're taking all them reps mentally, and they're improving off of it. And that's just the best thing ever, And I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't even know that until you just told me. So that just shows what happens when you just focus and X out everything around you, how you could dominate a front in the trenches.
And then with all the experience that they're going to have going into next year, plus Connor under center, how does that benefit Texas A&M moving forward?
Oh, a lot, because, the more years a line has together, the better they are together. And, that's proven from past lines that we have, even at other schools. So this is big.
And then for you and your future, with your time here or wherever happens next, what goes into that, and when do you think that you'll potentially know what happens?
I don't know. I'm just praying on it, talk to coaches, talk to my family, and then we'll go on from there.
We'll stay front row on the right side to Travis and then Mark.
Yeah, for Jimbo's system to work well, how important is it to have short yardage, third down situations, and what made y'all so successful in getting those situations tonight?
It's very important because, Coach Fisher always says it always starts off with a good first down, a good second down, and that leads to a good third down, because all them two downs play a factor in that third down to you making it. So I feel like we did that well tonight. We just didn't pay attention to the scoreboard. We didn't pay attention to anything else. All we did was just focus on our job and our assignment. We got it done.
We'll go third row on the left side to Mark.
Layden, you guys ran a lot of stretch plays, a lot of off tackle tonight. Was there something on film that you saw that made you guys think that you had something there?
We just wanted to run the ball. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to get back to the roots. We wanted to run the ball and move the front because guess what? That sets up the pass. And that's one of the things that we just wanted to do. We just wanted to get it moving. We ran those plays previously, and we just had to execute it. And tonight we executed it.
We'll go back behind the lights on the left side to Daryl.
Layden, how big was this win for you guys after the things that you've been through this year and the tough times and having to answer some really tough questions?
Oh, wow. Man, first of all, I just want to say God is good. God is really good. He is great. His power is amazing. What it could do, just keep believing and having faith in the process and taking it week by week, even though you're losing, and just keeping that faith and just keeping going every single day. It's just amazing what you can pull out if you just keep grinding and keep having that grit to gut it out every day and handle your business.
We'll go fourth row on the left side.
Yeah, and you talked about execution this week. What do you think was it this week that allowed y'all to execute where you haven't been able to this season?
Just to put it out there all on the line. That's what I could say for that. Our mindset was just practice hard, and that's what we did. Practice was very competitive this week, and we just said, hey, lay it out on the line. People always say the teams that have that has nothing to lose is the most dangerous. So I feel like we was in that situation, and we took it as an opportunity. And then we took that opportunity, and we capitalized on it. And I'm just happy we did because this university has big things coming.
We'll go back behind the lights on the right side.
Layden, we've seen you guys come out in the first half and play hard and score points. And then kind of fold in the second half and give up a lot. What do you feel the difference was tonight between tonight's game and prior games?
It was just focusing, not worrying about too much. Focus on your assignment. See a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing is what Coach Fisher always says. And that's a very important thing because when you're paying attention to all this stuff, you lose the main focus. But when you're paying attention to your assignment and what you have to be paying attention to, guess what? Sky's the limit for you and your team.
All right, it looks like that's it. Thank you, Layden.
Thank you. Have a blessed night.
We'll have Damani Richardson up next on the stage. Who would like to get us started with Damani? We'll go front row on the right side to Travis and then Mark.
Damani, what was your perspective of the scoop and score, and how much did you, going back even to the Arkansas game, how much did you think that could be the turning point?
So my man was a tight end, and he looped around, and I looped around with him, and I seen like Coop tackle him, and I seen the ball on the ground, and when the ball's on the ground and it's in my hands, I got to go score. So that's what I did.
What did it mean to you to kind of bookend the season with those plays and be such a huge factor in the 2 wins?
It means a lot. It just shows that this team has fight in them, that we don't give up no matter like circumstance. But yeah, it just shows that we will fight no matter what. And like I said, like no matter what, we just keep fighting, like no matter circumstance. But yeah.
We'll go third row on the left side to Mark.
Damani, it would have been real easy for you guys to just, call this a night and end the season, but you came out and basically physically took it to these guys. How important was this game for you personally as a senior, but the team as a whole to go into the offseason on a high note?
I feel like it was more important for the team. It shows that like this team doesn't give up. Like I said, like many people like fans, everyone thought we were done just because we lost a couple games. But it just shows that this team has fight. And for me personally, it just shows that I guess that I don't know, but it's more like a team thing. I'm not worried about myself right now. It's just mainly like about the team.
We'll go fifth row on the left side to Sam.
Damani, how does this night and this game leave you feeling about the season as a whole? Because you saw what you guys look like when you could put it all together, but obviously I know there's some frustration because you guys weren't able to do it throughout the whole season. So kind of how does tonight with the whole season in context leave you feeling?
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because after we won this game, I was like, we could have been doing this all season. We got the talent, got the coaching, so you just got to put it all together and execute on like all cylinders. But, yeah, just mainly frustrated because we could have been doing this all season.
We'll go front row on the right side to Cole and then Naomi.
Damani, for you just to be able to leave the field with 30,000 fans flocking in as one of the lasting memories at Kyle Field, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. The 12th man, one of the reasons I came here. They're the best fans in the nation. I love them. But, yeah, I'm just glad that I got to be a part of Texas A&M, and I'm glad we won it that way. The season didn't like go the way we wanted it to, but it ended the way we wanted it to.
And then for you, just personally looking at this program as a whole with young players on offense and several on defense, what does the future entail for Texas A&M?
It entails like a lot of talent. They have a lot of upside, a lot of DBs, Bryce Anderson, Jacoby Matthews, Jared Kerr. So A&M is really in really good hands with Connor Wigman, Evan Stewart. It's a lot of talent everywhere. So Texas A&M is definitely in good hands.
We'll go front row on the left side to Naomi.
Hey, Damani. With that turnover and the scoop and score, how do you feel like that helped the offense when, they were kind of in that slump?
Just like Arkansas, I feel like it helped us get momentum on both sides. They was doing good in the first half, but then like second half they came out. They got 3 and out, whatever. But then I feel like after that fumble, it just helped them with momentum, helped the fans get into it, and it just when like you get a momentum swing like that, it just like helps like the overall like game.
We'll go back behind the lights on the left side to Daryl.
Damani, you're in the locker room, and you know what the talk is all about. And there's a lot of fans and people that are so concerned about the transfer portal. Is that something that they need to worry about, or is this a team that's ready to say, you know what, 2022 wasn't all that great, but we're going to stick together and we're going to pull out 2023?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like 2023 this is Texas A&M turn. You see the freshmen, they got a lot of upside, like I said. So no one's talking about transfer portal. I feel like people shouldn't worry about that. So I feel like you see what we did. If we play together, they know we got the coaches, we got the players. So we just got to put it together, and they just got to go out there and execute next year, and we'll be in good hands next year, like I said.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Damani.
Thank you all.
Our last player today will be Antonio Johnson. Who would like to get us started with Antonio? We'll go front row on the right to Cole and then Mark.
Antonio, when you look back at this season, especially to where you were following that Arkansas game to now, do you consider it a lost season or do you consider it just a growing point for next season?
I for sure see it as a growing point. We had a lot of freshmen that came in this year and played in big roles and had to step up when we needed them to. And when you play with a lot of freshmen, there's going to be some hiccups down the road. And I feel like throughout all of the hectic and the chaos of the season, I feel like we grew as a team, we grew individually, and we just gave a glimpse of what next year can be, honestly.
Does that give you confidence in this program moving forward with how many freshmen got to see significant reps, especially in conference play?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, a lot of freshmen came and played early, and that transition isn't easy. Come in, play, and be expected to make big plays. It's a lot of pressure, but I feel like our freshmen did a great job of being poised in situations and just letting the game come to them. And as the season went on, they grew mentally and physically, just learning the game of college football and the speed and the tempo of everything and the physicality. And I feel like the freshmen this year did a remarkable job of just being able out there and be, accountable for the team. And, that's what we needed from them.
And then for you specifically, you have the opportunity to potentially go pro. What goes into that decision, and do you have kind of a timetable of when you think you'll announce it?
Honestly, just take the time and, celebrate my boys and, talk to my family and see what's the best decision for me, and we go for it from there. There's no time point, no time step on it.
We'll go third row on the left to Mark and then Travis.
AJ, the last 3 games since you came back, you have played remarkable football. You had 10 tackles tonight. How important was it for you to have this closing kick where you really showed what you're capable of doing when you're healthy?
With me missing, was it 4 games? I was out almost like a month, and each game it hurt me not to be out there with my boys and, be able to showcase my talents and just, play my role in the defense. So when I came back, I feel like I had to make up for the time that I was gone for my teammates. And I wanted everybody to feel me while I was on the field, and I feel like I did a good job of just making my presence be known while I'm on the field. And that's how I go out. I attack every game, just try to make my presence known. Man, I just gave it my all. It wasn't really much. We just came. The season wasn't going the way we needed it to. We just needed a spark. I feel like I wanted to be that spark for the defense when I came back.
We'll go front row on the right side to Travis.
I know you had a lot of good things to say about Damani after he returned that touchdown at the Arkansas game. A lot of the same feelings in this game.
Yeah, he's just a playmaker. I told him he's lucky. He always around the ball, on the ball on the ground. But no, Damani's a great athlete, a great teammate, a great leader. And when your leader on the defense is playing ball like that, like you have to rally behind it. It makes you want to take your game to the next level. And that was a key point in the game for us. Like he said earlier, offense wasn't really came out the second half. It was kind of sluggish. You know what I'm saying? And I think they went down and scored right away. So we needed like some momentum, and that the fumble recovery touchdown gave us the momentum on both sides, and we was rolling from there.
We'll go back behind the lights on the right side to Ben.
Hey, Antonio, just what do you feel like it meant for you guys as a team to be able to give the fans this kind of win to cap off the year? I know they've shown up in huge numbers throughout the course of the year.
One thing about our fans, good, bad, they showed up the whole season. And, when your fan base is that loyal to you, you want to give them everything that you can. And I feel like this win was very special for just not for the team, but for every Aggie in the country, in the world. And we just want to give, finish the season strong and give everybody a good win so it could roll over to next year. The season didn't go how we wanted. We didn't make a bowl game this year, but we ended with a bang, with a big win, a big upset, the number 5 team in the country. And it just gave a glimpse of what next year could be.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Antonio.
All right. Thank y'all.